front of a group of people. So just me being up here right now is a testimony all by itself. Yeah. So I'm going to just give it y'all how I experienced it raw for what it is. I woke up this morning and I was already thinking of excuses not to come. I was scared, dealing with fear, and I was telling myself, I have to go to work. It's going to be a busy day at work. I know Jen from work, she's the one that brought me in here. But I got up, was taking my son to school, and I had not a nail in my tire, but it was like a piece of wood stuck in my tire. And I ended up not calling into work, not going. And God gave me just time to prepare for this moment. And I was just scared. Like, what am I going to say? How much am I going to say? I'm scared right now, but I just feel if he did that to me and was trying to stop me from coming here to say what I have to say, that I had to come here even more. Yeah. So they're just working on my car for a few hours. They even had a lady there that came in and did my nails for free, and I was like, okay, God, really? He wants me to go up there tonight, so I'm going to just say it how I know how to say it. I feel like God's timing is so perfect. He put the youth up there, and they inspired me so much. If those little children can go up there and talk, I can tell my testimony. Yeah. And they inspired me. And that girl with the glasses, what is your name? Yes. I feel like I shared a lot of what she went through. I feel like I should have been in the youth. That's how new I am to all of this. But I've been searching for God for about 2 years, and when Jennifer invited me to the Alamo Ranch service, I was ready to go. And when Pastor Jonathan asked whoever wants to be saved, I was ready. I wanted it. And somebody at our job that we work with, Jaime, went to the Alamo Ranch service also. He paid for me and Jen to go together, and I honestly would not have gone if that didn't happen. I was excited. I went with an open heart, wanting to know what it was all about. I saw a lot of girls crying and hearing people's stories, and it just opened up my eyes a lot. And when we first got there, it's kind of weird, but I had just met Angela for the first time, and she greeted me and she touched my hand, and I was so scared because I'm not used to all the hand contact, just rubbing my hand. And I was like, why is she touching me? What's going on? I don't know anybody. I'm out in the middle of nowhere. And she's rubbing my hands a lot, so I got scared. I started thinking, something's going to happen to me. She put an oil on me, and I'm going to fall on the floor. So about the first 20 minutes of the session, they're speaking. I did not learn anything because I was just so focused in my mind and scared. And it wasn't until we started worshiping when I just felt alive again. And honestly, that's what's driven me here to this church, is the band. I love it, the music. And it pulled me out of my little... Yes. Thank you. And I just know that God has just, like I said, put everybody perfectly for when I needed them. He knew every little emotion that I was going to go through in those 3 days and put everybody there for me. So Angela didn't drug me or anything. I was fine at the end of the session. And I was like, okay, it's just me. And we went into our little circle and started talking about what did you learn. And I realized in that moment that the enemy was trying to attack me and put fear into me and stop me from receiving my gift. And so I was a little bit more hopeful for the next day, Saturday. I met a lot of people. I met Alex. That girl, we wouldn't even have to say anything. And she knew what I was feeling. She knew what I was thinking.
She's Angela's sister.
Yeah. And she kind of helped me. On Saturday, I received the gift of the tongues. I was like on this high, this spiritual high. I felt great. And I remember telling Alex, how come, like her story, how come I'm not falling on the floor? How come I'm not crying? I want to be feeling the overflowing love that everybody's talking about. I haven't felt it yet. And she just told me, well, it's different for everybody. And maybe it'll happen when you go home. I was like, well, what's going to happen? She's like, you're just going to start crying or something. I was like, okay, whatever. And I went that night. I went to sleep, had a great sleep. I didn't sleep well at all the first night. I remember feeling sick and nauseous. But the that night after I received the Holy Spirit, I slept great, and then I was woken up at 4:17 in the morning, wide awake, and I just remember feeling just at peace, and I just felt God like flood my mind with all of these memories and of me and my kids, times that I asked for signs, and just everything added up perfectly. And I was like, wow, he did that because of this and that, and it was all perfect, and I had so much clarity and peace. And the biggest part, I felt him there in the room with me.
Wow.
Yeah. I've never felt that peace before in my life, and when I knew what he was doing to me in that moment, I started crying because I knew he was real. He gave me my moment. I knew exactly what I was supposed to do, and nothing else in my life mattered. Everything else that I had flooded my mind with, materialistic things, it didn't matter anymore. I knew exactly what I needed to do in that moment. But it didn't just stop there. It was like the third day, the Sunday session, I remember they were telling me, well, you're going to go back to life, and it's going to hit you. And what are you going to do? And sure enough, it started happening to me on the bus, on the way back. The doubt, the fear was hitting me. But like I said, God's perfect timing, and he put all these people in my little journey for me. I sat, Vanna was sitting behind me, and I turned around, and I was like, hey, this happened to me, this happened to you, and she comforted me, and she made me feel okay, and I realized I'm not the only one that's feeling this way. And I went back home, and that was a whole other thing. I feel like I'm talking forever.
No.
It was just a lot. Work hit me. People at work, having to face everybody at work. My mother, we're Catholic, so this is different for us. They don't understand. So Jennifer prayed over me at work. God's put her behind me, a few desks behind me. She's been there to pray for me. She took me to a room because she saw me just about to cry. Because I was struggling with a lot of confusion and doubt. And she prayed over me, and I felt fine after that. So I'm here because I'm hungry for more of what I felt that night.